Human bodies are all different shapes and sizes. So does that mean our approach to getting more muscular, fitter, stronger, and healthier should be different? As a personal trainer of over 10 years, I've seen every body type and body shape, and no one has managed to escape these 3 rules. The first one being the law of thermodynamics. Basically, how many calories we burn and how many calories we eat determine if we gain weight, lose weight, or maintain weight. If we burn the same amount of calories that we consume, we maintain weight. If we consume more calories than we burn, we gain weight, any calorie surplus. But if we burn more calories than we consume, nailed it. We create a calorie deficit, which is where we lose weight. The calories in versus calories out model cops a lot of flack because a lot of people say that it just isn't true. But the truth is, it works for everybody. However, the calories in versus calories out dynamics are not always the same because humans aren't robots. The second one being that the only way to build muscle is through mechanical tension, which is basically the pulling force inside your muscles when they contract against resistance or the weights that you're lifting. That stretch and contraction creates tension inside the muscle cells and sends a signal to get stronger and build more muscle. And to make sure that this continues to happen, you want to provide progressive overload. So let's say you do 6 reps of 100 kilos for your squat. The next week when you come in to do that same session, this time you want to do 7 reps. Or you could stick to 6 reps and make sure that the weight is heavier than 100 kilos. And the third rule is consistency beats intensity. Your body responds to what you repeatedly do. If you have a week that you train perfectly and so intensely, but it just doesn't stick, you're going to end right back where you started. But with that same week, instead of focusing on intensity so much, if you just train 3 days per week, you could start stacking weeks on top of weeks of consistent training. And the same applies to your diet. You could have an entire week of perfect eating, but then you could be so restricted and so deprived of foods that you love that inevitably you fall off the bandwagon. So instead of being so intense, you could be more consistent and maybe have a smaller calorie deficit. Maybe still include some foods that you love so that you can stack 3 great weeks on top of each other instead of 1 perfect week. Because simply put, long-term consistency is always going to get you closer to your goals than short bouts of intensity. My name is Brock Ashby. I'm an online personal trainer. Follow for more.